Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am taking a look at the JF-17 Thunder from Deka Ironworks Simulations. The stay-at-home sale is still going, and today is the first day of 2 days that you can fly the JF-17 for free as a trial. So I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I figured I would jump in and take a look at it. Right now it's on sale for $64.99, I believe, and man, if it was half price I would probably buy it without even thinking twice about it, but it is a newer module, so eventually it will be a half price module. But right now this is the background that they give you, wallpaper, and this is their own unique music. And as you guys know, that's something I always appreciate. Whenever I go to a module and use the wallpaper, I appreciate when they change the background music. So this is pretty cool. I'm digging it. Let's take a look at what they give you with the JF-17 Thunder. Let's jump under Instant Action. And where is it now? There we go, JF-17. Default map. Wow, there's a bunch of missions for the default map. Cold and dark, takeoff and navigation, free flight, easy landing, night takeoff and navigation, night free flight, night landing, river run, air-to-air BVR, air-to-air CAC, CAS, anti-ship, man in the loop, general bombs, laser-guided bombs, unguided rocket, laser-guided rocket. I'm impressed. That is a very in-depth variety of missions. Let's take a look at Nevada. Really, dude? One mission, cold and dark? Alright, Normandy? Nothing? Persian Gulf? Cold and dark. Alright. That's a little disappointing. But I am still impressed with the number of missions they give you for the default map. That's kind of cool. Let's take a look at missions. Literally only 2. Peace Shield and Seed. It's kind of sparse, don't you think? In comparison, the F-16 is in early access too, and look how many missions you get with it at least. Let's check out the campaign, or if there is a campaign. JF-17, Thunderstrike, early access. So, there is a campaign. Let's take a look at the training mission. Really, guys? Come on. Cold start and navigation. Really, guys? I know this is early access, but man, the F-16 had more shit than this before it launched. Well, let's take a look at what it flies like. Let's do the free flight. Just do free flight. Alrighty. We are in the JF-17 now, and let's take a look around the cockpit. Pretty interesting aircraft. I like all the large multifunction displays. Looks like they stole the TQS from an F-16. And the stick, not sure, that kind of resembles a helicopter stick, to be honest. Interesting. So my understanding is the JF-17 is kind of a melting pot of different parts that they've thrown together to make it an affordable option for countries that can't afford the, you know, billion-dollar fighters like the F-35s and F-22 Raptors. So it has a very unique variety of parts that make up the JF-17. So it's a really interesting looking plane too. At a glance you look at it and you're like, oh, it kind of looks like an F-16, but it kind of looks like a Hornet, but it kind of looks like a Harrier a little bit. I just don't know what to make of it. See, that bottom profile almost makes it look like a Hornet at a glance. But then you see it's a single jet, so it kind of looks like an F-16. Definitely an interesting plane. Well, it's got a really nice F4 view. I like when planes have that over-the-wing view. Let's see what the Afterburner looks like. Let's kick that in a notch. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's a screamer. I like it. Very nice. I like when that burner screams. It's like I accelerated pretty good, too. It's that weird noise as I'm pulling G's. I don't know if you can hear that in the video. There's a little bit better look inside the cockpit at the stick and the throttle. That's definitely a TQS from the F-16 over there. This stick looks really familiar too. It looks like something out of a helicopter. These displays look interesting. It's like my radar right there. So there's really very little analog gauges in this thing at all. I mean, it's a very, very modern jet. Alrighty. This is the JF-17 at night over the default map. Those lights are pretty damn cool. Let's kick the burner up. There she goes. She's definitely a screamer like the F-16. That's pretty cool. Looks fantastic. Cockpit's really lit up nicely too. And look, it looks like, yeah, everything is really lit up nice. Fantastic job in the cockpit in terms of lighting. Yeah, it's too bad this thing isn't half off. If it was, I really would buy it and not think twice about it. But at $64.99, I don't know. I have a hard time thinking about that. Especially with times being uncertain like they are right now. So taking a look at it in the mission editor, it looks like the only paint scheme I have in the mission editor is the Splinter Camo for Blue Side Fictional. That's interesting. Under armaments, air-to-air missiles PL-5EE or 5E2. So under armaments, it looks like they've got the air-to-air missile PL-5E2, and then the pods, and then what do we have here? Air-to-air missiles SD-10 × 2 PL-5. I think the SD-10 is the AMRAAM equivalent, and then the 5 is your heat seeker IR missile. Air to ground, I'm not sure what all these are. Bombs, GBU-12s, Mark 20s, those all make sense to me. Rock eyes. Pods, there's a data link pod and the WMD-7 pod, whatever that is. We got a variety of unguided rockets, the BRU-33-2 Lao rockets, and then the BRM-190mm rockets. Bombs, GBU 10, 16, and Mark 83 and 84. Fuel tanks and pods again. Whatever the SPJ pod is, that's a little different. And then air-to-ground missiles. We have some C-802AK, CM-802AKG, GB6, GB6HE, GB6SFW, and LS6-500. Bombs, again, GBU 10 and 16, Mark 83 and 84. Looks like it has a pretty impressive arsenal of weaponry. I'm going to go with that. Alright, let's take a look at this thing over the Persian Gulf.
Altitude, altitude, altitude.
That bitchin' Betty sounded like a 10-year-old girl, didn't it? That's interesting. This thing is cruising. This be my waypoint floating in the air over there in the box. I haven't figured out navigation or anything in this thing yet. Like I said, it's a matter of having time right now. This is only available for 2 days, and I just don't have the time to learn all the stuff I need to in the 2 days' time, because I have things going on in the evening this week, during these 2 days, unfortunately, and I'm still working. Fortunate enough to still be working. Yeah, the world is a pretty uncertain place right now with everything that's going on. I just wish shit would get back to normal.
Altitude, altitude, altitude.
Made it. Nice. Looks pretty impressive with a full load. Definitely performs well. I have a feeling this plane would grow on me, and I would really enjoy it if I had more time to spend with it. So, as it stands, I think it's a fantastic performing jet. I still feel that it kind of reminds me a little bit of, you know, if you mixed an F-18 with an F-16, this is kind of what you might end up with, depending on what sacrifices you made. Like, this seems to be a single engine plane, like the F-16, and it's got a single fin and tail, instead of where the F-18 has the dual. However, at a glance, this thing from the top down kind of looks like an F-18 in terms of the shape of the thing from the top down. So it's really weird, man. It's just an interesting plane.
Altitude, altitude.
Yeah, it's got like a modern cockpit, modern weaponry. It's definitely an interesting plane. I want to say I like it, but I haven't messed with the weapons or navigation or any of that stuff yet. But, you know, strictly from the perspective of being able to fly it, it's pretty fucking cool. And visually speaking, it's not a bad looking plane. It really is pretty. So hopefully, when the world gets back to normal and they have more of this done, because this isn't early access still, and there's a lot missing in terms of content and whatnot. But maybe eventually when they have a sale and it's half off, I'll pick it up. But right now it's 65 bucks. It's kind of definitely a no for me right now, at least. But again, I haven't had enough time with it. 2 days really isn't enough, especially, you know, during these trying times when, you know, some of us are lucky to still be working, but don't know how long we're going to be working yet. So it's definitely a very unique world right now. And as always, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Sorry the content hasn't been flowing as rapidly as it was before, but I'm doing the best I can with the circumstances. And definitely thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to hit that like button. And until next time, guys, stay safe.